Mr. Calloway.
Ma'am.
Della Whitfield. My father runs the horse operation 2 miles north, the one with fences that actually hold. 3 of his mares spent the night on the wrong side of that line.
I found them at first light. Wasn't sure whose gate to knock on.
Now you don't have to guess. Purebred stock, Mr. Calloway. If they've spent the night breathing the same air as your wild herd, my father's going to want to know exactly how that happened.
Rope broke on the north corral sometime after dark. I was fixing it when you rode up.
That corral or that rope?
Both, if I'm honest.
Then let's see what you've got before my father finds a reason to ride down here himself. This won't hold past noon.
It held last night.
Last night you didn't have 3 of my father's mares testing it from the other side. Bred horses lean. There's a difference, and your spacing only accounts for one of them.
Bred you're sensitive. You always talk fence with men you've known 10 minutes?
Only the ones who can't afford to lose the argument. I can show you how to reset it properly. Won't take the morning.
And in exchange?
In exchange, you get a fence that holds, and I get my father's mares home before he starts asking who taught his daughter to negotiate with strangers.
Fair trade.
That lead mare of yours, the gray, how long have you had her?
6 weeks. She hasn't let anyone within 10 feet.
She let me within 6 just now.
I noticed.
She'll come around. Wild things usually do, if you're patient enough not to chase them.
Della Whitfield rode home that morning certain she'd settled a simple matter of stray horses. She had no way of knowing she'd just made a bargain with a man still keeping a promise 2 years unspoken, one he had never once said out loud in this county and didn't intend to start now.
Your father run out of fences that need checking?
He didn't send me.
Didn't ask him to send you either.
That gray mare, you said 6 weeks.
It's been 10 days since I asked.
10 days and 4 visits.
I'm keeping track of my father's mares.
She hasn't let you touch her. Not once.
Every rope I've thrown, she reads before it leaves my hand.
That's not stubbornness. That's intelligence. You're doing the same thing with her every time.
She's already 3 moves ahead of you.
And you'd do different? I'd do nothing. That's the whole trick. You don't approach her. You let her approach the idea of you. Stand still long enough, she starts wondering why you're not interested. Horses hate being ignored more than they hate being caught.
She's coming.
Don't look at her. Look at the ground in front of you.
"6 weeks I couldn't get her within 10 feet.
10 minutes and she came to me. That's not a compliment to me, Ezra. That's you finally standing back long enough to let her decide. Where'd you learn horses like that? Not from ranch work. Ranch work teaches you to move stock.
Not read it. Different places.
That's not an answer.
It's the only one I've got today.
Your family's still back wherever different places is?
I don't have much family left to speak of.
That's not an answer either.
No, it's not.
Fair enough. I've got questions I don't answer either.
I noticed you didn't ask which ones.
I will, just not today.
Della Whitfield had learned to read a wild horse in one afternoon. Reading Ezra Calloway, she suspected, was going to take considerably longer, and she had already decided she had the patience for it.
In the 3 weeks that
Followed, Della Whitfield rode out to the boundary meadow 11 times.
they didn't speak of the past. They spoke the language of wild horses, mended fences, and quiet mornings. But in a county this empty, a woman riding the same trail 11 times makes a sound louder than a stampede, and a father always hears it first.
You wouldn't happen to know a man breaks horses out this way? Goes by Calloway?
Ezra Calloway. Keeps to himself, mostly. Why do you ask?
No reason. Name just rang a bell. Man I used to do business with back in Ohio had a nephew went by that name. Left home rather sudden, as I recall. Some trouble with a wedding that didn't happen.
Whitfield. Warren Whitfield.
Mercer. Pleasure.
This Calloway you mentioned, you're certain of the name?
Certain enough. Small world, isn't it, Mr. Whitfield?
You know a Calloway?
My daughter does. Calloway.
Mr. Whitfield.
I heard something in town today about a man named Calloway. A wedding, Ohio.
You heard something.
I heard enough to ask.
Then ask.
Is it true?
Some of it. Probably not the part that made it worth repeating.
That's not an answer.
It's the only one I owe a man I've known 10 minutes.
My daughter's not a woman who gets talked out of things, once she's decided them. So I won't waste breath telling you to stay away from her.
Good. I wasn't going to listen anyway.
Whatever happened in Ohio about who tells her first. A story like that lands different depending on whose mouth it comes from. Sit down, Della.
I'll stand.
I met a man in town today, says he knows the Calloway name from Ohio.
Lots of people are named Calloway.
He mentioned a wedding that didn't happen, a man who left rather suddenly.
And you believe a stranger you met once over a name he wasn't even certain of?
I believe I've watched you ride out to that man's land 11 times in 3 weeks, and I'd rather ask an uncomfortable question.
That's not fair.
No, it isn't. I'm not being fair. I'm being your father.
I'll ask him myself. Not because you told me to, because I decide what I ask and when.
Same as I always have. That's all I wanted. That you ask.
You could have just said that, instead of setting a trap with it.
Della Whitfield had built her whole life on reading things carefully before deciding what to trust. A herd, a ledger, a man. She had never once been wrong. She was beginning to suspect this might be the first time.
And the whole county turned out for it. Bride standing at the altar in her mother's dress, and the groom's horse gone from the stable an hour before the ceremony. Never did show his face in that county again.
What happened to the girl?
Susanna Cole. Fine family. Never did marry after, far as I know. Some scandals a woman doesn't recover from, even when the fault's not hers to carry. Calloway. That's the name. Same one, if the description's anything to go by.
There's a man in town talking about Mr. Calloway, telling it ugly. I thought you'd rather hear it from me than catch it secondhand in the street.
Telling what, exactly? That he left a woman at the altar.
Back in Ohio. That's the shape of it, far as I heard. Thank you for telling me straight. Whatever the truth of it, you'll want to hear his version before you decide what to do with theirs.
That's exactly where I'm headed.
You heard.
I heard a version. I want yours.
Her name was Susanna Cole. Our fathers did business together. The wedding was arranged before either of us was old enough to have an opinion about it.
That's not a crime, Ezra.
No. Leaving the night before it happened? That's the part people don't forgive as easy.
Why'd you leave?
The week before the wedding, I found the contract. Not the marriage license, the other one, between our fathers. Cattle rights, water access. Her hand was worth 40 acres and a well that never runs dry, written down plain as any trade I'd ever seen made in that county.
Did she know?
No, I don't think she did. That's the part I've never gotten past. She thought it was real.
So you ran.
I ran, rode out that night, and never went back. Left her standing in a life I'd made worse by leaving instead of better.
You could have told her the truth, given her the choice.
I know that now. I was 23 and scared, and I told myself leaving was mercy. It wasn't. It was just easier.
Mine was over property too. Different shape. Same bone underneath it.
I didn't know that.
You didn't ask. I didn't offer. We've been fair about that at least. That's why you don't talk about promises like they're small.
That's why.
You told me the truth just now. Straight, first time I asked outright. Didn't dress it up. Didn't wait for me to drag it out
Of you in pieces. Wasn't gonna make you do that twice.
That matters more to me than what happened 6 years ago in a church in Ohio.
It shouldn't be the only thing that matters.
It isn't. But it's the thing I needed to see today.
Ezra Calloway had spent 6 years believing the truth once spoken would cost him everything. Della Whitfield had just shown him it could cost considerably less than the years of silence had, provided he never made her wait that long for it again.
You've been quiet all evening.
Thinking.
About? That's not an evening breeze.
They're going for the North Gap!
The ravine's past that fence line.
Stay here!
Not a chance.
Toughen and calm!
Hold her! I've got the rest. You could have let her go. Saved your shoulder.
No, I couldn't. Where?
Show me your hand. This is what holding on costs.
Yes, sir.
I called you a man who ran once. Said it to your face, right here on this land.
You did.
I was wrong to leave it at that. A man can run once, at 23, scared and stupid, and still be exactly the kind of man who doesn't run again at 30. I rode out here tonight to find a tragedy. I've buried a wife already, Calloway. I know exact ride feels like.
I'm sorry you had to make it.
That's not a night's worth of deciding, Calloway. That's 6 years of a man practicing how not to be the person he was ashamed of.
Someone want to tell me what I missed?
Your husband, 3 weeks ago.
That's the closest thing to an apology we will ever get out of you.
It's the only kind I've got. Since you already know what I'll say. I think that was a blessing.
Take it.
The air was still, as if the territory itself held its breath for them.
Ezra Calloway, do you take this woman? I do. Della Whitfield, take this man?
I do.
Then by the authority vested in me, I now pronounce you. At the edge of the world they'd built, they finally found home. Wedding gift. Good bloodline. That's generous, sir.
He never once let go of a rope in 6 years, changes today.
No, I don't imagine it does.
Ezra Calloway had spent 11 years working other men's land, listening for an echo that never quite sounded like his own. He found it, in the end, not in the acres or the herd or the remount contract that first brought him to this stretch of Wyoming, but in a woman who taught him that reading something carefully and trusting it anyway was the bravest kind of promise there was.